All right, thanks.
Committed to you. Fox Carolina, the 4 o'clock news starts now.
20 years after a day that changed our world forever, we remember the victims of the 9/11 attacks. And this is a look in New York where the Freedom Tower stands today, 1,776 feet tall, taller than the original World Trade Centers.
The president taking action to mandate vaccines for workers. The reaction here in South Carolina.
But we begin with breaking news here at 4. Several of you have reached out to us about a situation happening near Forest Acres Elementary School. We do know now that the school is dismissed, they did it in a structured way to make sure all students, faculty, and parents are safe. We're told Easley Police was also on hand to help them dismiss. We're working to find out exactly what happened that caused this alert there. As soon as we get some more information, we'll pass it along. But really, we don't know apparently anything to what caused this situation. But if we do get that information, we'll pass it along to you. Well, good afternoon. I'm Cody Alcorn.
I'm Brooklyn Cromer. Tori has the day off, and Bob Trihey is in today for Kendra. How, Bob, Cody, I'll tell you, today was just a beautiful day. I'm hoping that it's the weekend is, going to be. If there's any indication of what the weekend's going to be like.
Little technical glitch.
Sorry,
there,
I was a little distracted.
It's
there.
Friday. Hey.
Hey, right? I mean, it's a beautiful Friday. It's going to be great for those Friday evening football games, and I think this beautiful weather will continue into this upcoming weekend. Looking really, really good. As far as our temperatures right now, maybe a hair below average. 82 in downtown Greenville right now, 80 in Lawrence, Abbeville 81, Anderson, you're at 80 degrees, but it is a little cooler into the mountains right now. 77 in Franklin, 66 in Waynesville, Asheville at 75 degrees right now, and Fox Radar 3D having a hard time picking up on the cumulus clouds. We have some of those across the upstate into the higher terrain, but that's about it. Aside from that, things are looking really nice as we have strong high pressure to our north. Look at the expanse of clear skies all across the Ohio Valley into the mid-Atlantic region. And I actually want to go back one more graphic because I skipped one, but I do want to show you futurecast rain and clouds. And as we go through this evening, you can see we still hang on to the clouds for a little while. So if you're headed out to the Friday evening football games and maybe headed out to dinner, we are looking at nice conditions, just a few clouds and light winds. There will be a little disturbance sliding through on Saturday, just kicking off some clouds, but will not interfere with any kind of 9/11 remembrances at that time. I think we're looking at mostly sunny skies, and really much of the day is nice. For the upstate for this evening, temperatures falling through the 70s into the 60s with light winds, mostly clear skies, lower 60s by tomorrow morning. And for the mountains, you're looking at temperatures falling from the 70s, 60s, and eventually on into the 50s as well. So looking kind of cool. In the meantime, a lot of folks hitting the highways and byways for the weekend. Here's Chris Scott with traffic.
Bob, thanks. We're going to start in Anderson County. We have a crash at the 25-mile marker on the southbound lane of 85. This is after exit 27, which is Highway 81 in Anderson County. We have a pretty good backup going on right now. We don't have much information about the actual accident itself. Obviously, it's blocking the roadway and traffic's barely moving through there at this point. We do see all the red. That's the backup, and that's about probably 4 to 5 miles, I would guesstimate at this point. Again, this is after exit 27, Highway 81 at 85 South in Anderson. We'll keep watching that, and hopefully they'll get that one cleared and open back up. Spartanburg County, Highway 101 near BMW's Performance Center, and a lane blocked up around Blackstop Road at Azalea Court as well. Again, this is Anderson County. We are seeing traffic starting to move a little bit better here on the southbound lane. This is right around exit 27 at Highway 81. Accident at 25 southbound 85. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Cody?
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Hard to believe it's been 20 years since President Bush addressed the world to announce those attacks. And now people across the U.S. are remembering where they were when they heard the news. People are also remembering the nearly 3,000 lives that were lost that day after 4 commercial airplanes were hijacked by a group of terrorists. The first 2 planes crashed in the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Both of those buildings collapsed. 2,600 people were killed. The third plane flew into the side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. 125 people in the building died, along with the passengers on that jet. The fourth plane, Flight 93, was flying in the direction of Washington, D.C., but never made it thanks to the passengers who came up with a plan, fought back, and brought that plane down in a field, only killing themselves. Considered heroes. Now, that plane crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Again, everyone on board killed in the crash.
And as the world prepares to mark the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, Camilla Bernal is in New York with a look back at the events that shook America and changed the course of history forever.
September 11th, 2001. The nation stunned by shocking acts of terror.
We've had a national tragedy.
The Twin Towers, a symbol of American success, reduced to rubble.
You have a second plane into the other tower.
34 minutes later, the Pentagon pierced and in flames. A fourth hijacked plane meant to target Washington, D.C., crashing in a Pennsylvania field after passengers fought back. 2,977 people killed after 19 men hijacked 4 U.S. commercial flights bound for West Coast destinations. Americans left mourning the tragic loss of life and their sense of security.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
But out of the ashes, collective determination and unity.
God bless America.
A new building, taller than its predecessors, at 1,776 feet, the Freedom Tower, a reminder of the enduring promise and resilience of a nation.
It's 20 years later, but we still feel it so intensely. And this wound will never entirely heal.
And 20 years ago today, those Twin Towers stood right here behind me. Today, preparations are underway for tomorrow's event here in New York. We expect President Joe Biden and his wife, as well as former President Barack Obama and his wife. But there will be 3 events, and Joe Biden will be at all 3 of these events. Another one at the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, and another one in Shakesville, Pennsylvania, where we also expect former President George W. Bush and his wife. But despite the presidents and the leaders that will be attending all of these events, it's really everyday Americans who are paying their respects, who are already coming here to the memorial. Reporting in New York City, I'm Camila Bernal.
An anniversary of a day Americans will never forget. It was a day our country was tested, but did not falter. Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer live in Boiling Springs at the fire department there on Pelham Road. I should say in Greenville County, the Boiling Springs Fire Department. Sorry about that. And Carrie, this fire department has a permanent 9/11 memorial with something very special included.
That's right, Cody. Right behind me, this piece of steel beam, it's actually from the World Trade Center towers. It stands here as a permanent memorial so that people will never forget what happened on that tragic day. Of course, that day being burnt into America's history. Even with it being 20 years later tomorrow, people still have a vivid memory of that day. So we went out to ask them what they were doing the day the world stood still.
I had just started a new job.
I was 3 years old when 9/11 happened.
I remember exactly where I was. I was in my boss's office at a former job.
I was sitting in my office at the police department in Fountain Inn, and one of my sergeants came in and told me, hey Chief, a plane just flew into one of the World Trade Center towers.
My mom's just like, these buildings are on fire in New York. My dad's like, what are you talking about?
And they had a small TV, and we were all gathered around that and stood there and, ultimately watched the buildings fall.
And I was thinking, oh my God, all those people that are in danger, not just in the building, but around the building.
You started to hear rumblings around the office that the first plane had hit.
There goes the second building, and we're watching mayhem happen together as a family.
We certainly realized then it wasn't an accident and that we were under attack.
I'm from New York, New Jersey, so it was just my first thought was, is my family okay?
So we were scared. We didn't know what this meant for us. We didn't know what it meant for the people up there, what it meant for the country.
The internet was fairly new back then, so we're all rushing to computers to try to get an update and see what's going on, and the internet was pretty much shut down. You couldn't get anything.
Your family's calling, wanting to know everything okay, what's going on, what do you know?
You were just at a loss. You wondered, well, should I stay at work? Should I go home? What do I do? I feel like I need to be with my family.
Still get chills from it.
I wanted to sign back up and go back into service and fight just as hard to find the people who done it and take part in that.
It was just sort of a moment of disbelief and helplessness.
You just felt like your life was going to be changed from that point forward.
We have this belief that in America, especially prior to 9/11, that can't happen to us. And since it has happened, now it's just like we won't let that happen to us again.
USA! 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 USA!
Powerful words there. Now, right here where I'm standing at the Boiling Springs Fire Department here off of Pelham Road, right here at the memorial, they're going to have their annual ceremony tomorrow morning at 8:46 a.m. promptly. That, of course, is the time when the first plane hit the North Tower. Cody, Brookley?
I think everybody will remember that day for the rest of their lives and exactly what they were doing. Thanks so much, Carrie.
Yeah, hard to believe it's been 20 years already. Fox Carolina will have continuing coverage as the nation marks 20 years since the 9/11 attacks. You can find more on the national and local ceremonies happening inside our news app and on foxcarolina.com. Well, parents back outside an upstate school district protesting what they call a bribe.
And leaders across the country responding after the president says he's putting new rules in place to get people vaccinated. Welcome back. President Biden's vaccine requirements aimed at beating the COVID-19 pandemic, gaining opposition and a lot of criticism. State governors hitting back, accusing the president of overreaching his authority over private businesses.
Isabel Rosales has a closer look at Biden's six-pillar plan to get more people vaccinated and curb new COVID numbers.
What the Biden administration is doing is government overreach, pure and simple.
Outrage from Republican governors over President Joe Biden's ambitious new plan to fight the pandemic.
Some Republican governors have been so cavalier with the health of these kids.
At the heart of the plan, a Labor Department requirement. All businesses with 100 or more employees must ensure their workers are either vaccinated or tested once a week. Biden's plan is made up of 6 pillars, including vaccinating more people, keeping schools open, requiring masks, and increasing testing, and improving care for those with COVID-19.
We're playing for real here. This isn't a game.
Criticism from GOP lawmakers has been swift.
Put them out of work and send them and not let them earn a living because of this? I just think that that's fundamentally wrong.
Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp tweeting, "I will pursue every legal option available to the state of Georgia to stop this blatantly unlawful overreach by the Biden administration." Meanwhile, top health experts keep highlighting that mandates work.
The mandates will serve as a nudge for many of them.
Delta Airlines says it has evidence its mandates work. In the 2 weeks since it announced a $200 monthly charge on the healthcare plans of unvaccinated workers, 20% of the company's 20,000 unvaccinated employees got the shot. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster blasted the new policy on Twitter last night, saying, quote, "The American dream has turned into a nightmare under President Biden and the radical Democrats. They have declared war against capitalism, thumbed their noses at the Constitution, and empowered our enemies abroad." He went on to say he will fight to protect the liberty and livelihood of every South Carolinian. Prisma Health says nothing is more important to us than the health and safety of your patients and the members of our team. Throughout the pandemic, we have encouraged COVID-19 vaccination for everyone who is eligible, and we continue to do so. Prisma says they're working to understand the full scope of the new federal guidelines. We did reach out to Bon Secours. They tell us, quote, "Bon Secours is committed to the health and well-being of our patients, associates, and communities. We'll continue to make decisions based on the needs of the communities we serve in compliance with any local, state, and federal requirements. Now and always, our associates' health and safety are our top priority as they care for our communities."
Fox Carolina weather. Weather Rate certified most accurate local forecast.
It was a cool start to our Friday across the upstate. A lot of places into the 50s. And for tonight, it's going to be another cool one. Maybe a couple of degrees warmer, but still on the cool side. Many places into the 50s overnight. For the weekend, we're looking warm as we are looking at conditions really warming up nicely as we go through the weekend into the middle 80s. And then next week, hotter. We're looking at 90s perhaps for the beginning of the week, and then increasing showers as we go through time. So we'll be watching that as we go into next week. Some changes on the way then. In the meantime, right now, you can see we've got some cumulus clouds out there. Even it looks like a little veil of cirrus clouds at the present time as well. 82 in Greenville, 81 in Lawrence, Abbeville and Lawrence at 81, 80 in Hartwell, cooler into the mountains right now. We've got 72 in Brevard and Asheville right now. You're sitting at 75. Fox Radar 3D having a hard time picking up on those cumulus clouds, but we have them out there. Aside from that, things are very quiet thanks to high pressure off to our north right now. We're still on the cool side of this high, so the winds generally coming in out of the north, and that will continue as we go through this evening, and then the winds become light and variable. We'll walk you through it with Futurecast. You can see some of the clouds out there this evening, and we'll call it mostly clear overnight. Then moving into Saturday, I think we'll see a few more clouds, especially in the morning. There will be a little upper level disturbance sliding through. Will not be any problem. We'll not see any rain. We'll be keeping it dry as we go through Saturday night as well, and on into Sunday, more of the same. Another really good-looking day at that time, and temperatures a couple degrees warmer, I should say, than they were on Saturday. Looking ahead, high pressure sliding away as we go into Monday. We increase the heat and humidity. And look at the clouds and moisture gathering to our south. I think we'll keep it dry through Tuesday, but as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, we start to pick up on some isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms. Here's our tropics. We're still talking about Hurricane Larry. Hard to believe, but yeah, here's Larry off of Nova Scotia right now and heading for Newfoundland as we go through time, then eventually near Greenland as we go into the weekend. There's another area of disturbed weather near the Yucatan right now. 70% chance of this developing and then moving to the north. I think it'll bring Texas and parts of the Gulf Coast a lot of moisture. And also we're watching a system moving off of Africa, another strong one there. For the upstate for tonight, 59 with mostly clear skies, a light north breeze. And then for the mountains, 52 for you with mostly clear skies. Carolina sky meter for tomorrow, I have us at a 9. We'll be seeing a few clouds, but it's going to be a really nice day. 84 Saturday, up to 86 Sunday. Temperatures warm overnight as well from the 50s into the 60s. 90 Monday and Tuesday. Then we increase those shower chances beginning Wednesday, lasting through the week. For the mountains, 79 for you on Saturday. Some cool overnight lows in the 50s. And then we're looking at temperatures warming through the 80s. A little cooler as some rain arrives for you by Wednesday. Make sure you log on to foxcarolina.com. Check out my forecast and article on there talking about the nice weather. Boy, it's really nice. 80 degrees at the present time. Lots of folks hitting the roads. Here's Chris Scott with a look at traffic.
All right, Bob, thank you. We're still following this Anderson accident right past exit 27, the Highway 81-85 southbound area. We are starting to see improvement. Traffic is beginning to move now, so they apparently have moved it at least off on the shoulder of the roadway, so traffic is beginning to move. We do know right now it's about a 3-mile backup, so it's going to take a little while to get that one really back up to speed on 85 South. Again, it's after exit 81 or South Carolina 81, exit 27 at the 25-mile marker is that location. Other accidents around the area include Oconee County, Highlands Highway right at Main Street in Walhalla, Armstrong Road around 123 Sandifer Boulevard in Spartanburg County, Blackstock at Azalea Court, and 101 near the BMW Performance Center. There is a crash there as well. Again, we are starting to see improvement here on 85 South in Anderson. This is again at about the 25-mile marker, and traffic is beginning to move a little bit better, but still, again, a 3 to 4 mile backup. We'll keep you updated on what's happening with that again in a few minutes. And our Waze app is available too. That'll help get you around a lot of things out there on the roads. Get to the Waze teams and look for Fox Carolina traffic. Cody.
Chris thinks Fox Carolina is getting answers to road problems you face when you're out driving around. Every Thursday on the 6 o'clock news, Teresa Bowles is highlighting road problems in our area and working to find solutions. Just want to recap what we did yesterday on Knox Road in Oconee County. A lot of issues over there on that roadway, and Teresa found out it could be a while before DOT does anything about it. You can watch her full report inside our free Fox Carolina News app. You can also head there as well to give us any problems you have out on the roadways, suggestions for Teresa to tackle, and she'll work to get answers for you. Well, coming up, why you shouldn't take a break from your busy schedule, what experts are saying extra downtime on the couch could mean.
For Fox's four-legged friends, we want to introduce you to Sherman, a beautiful tuxedo kitty with Greenville County Animal Care.
Yep. It's yellow. With yellow? It's keying out. Yeah. Huh. Okay. And blue. Really?
Back up a little bit, it'll kind of go away, believe it or not.
Oh, if it goes.
It didn't do it as bad when I backed up on the back of that carpet.
Okay, maybe you know what? I'll stay back. Yeah, but then I might turn green though, because I run out of carpet. But I'll stay. I'll stay back. I'll stay back. No, it's okay. Is it doing? Okay, thank you.
For Fox's Four-Legged Friends, we are featuring pets from Greenville County Animal Care, and there are a lot of cats there right now. So we want you to meet one of the most handsome, in my opinion. We've got Sherman, and of course, Paula Church here to tell us a little bit about him.
Absolutely beautiful. So if you're into tuxedo cats, this is your guy. He's very formal. It looks like he has a half stash, like maybe he started shaving and just decided, no, I think I'll keep it.
Love
but
it.
He's really sweet. He's 4 years old and probably weighs somewhere around 8 pounds, and just as handsome and sweet as he can be. He loves treats. He's very social.
We're leaving them in the enclosures because I know they're escape artists. It's easy for them to get away. We wouldn't want them to do that in the shelter. So, but you can see him pretty well back there. He wants to find a family where he can snuggle and be loved. If someone is interested in adopting Sherman, how can they go about that?
Just come to our Lost and Found building. Let staff know that you're here to meet some of our cats, and we'll take you back and give you an opportunity to meet all the cats that are in our category.
It's mutually a great thing because folks get a great deal if they've been even thinking about adopting a cat, and it's helping you get more of these cats out of the shelter so you have room, because I know they just keep coming. So thank you so much, Paula, for your time today.
Yeah, thank you, Kendra.
Well, football season is kicking off. Find out what COVID protocols you'll have to follow if you're in the stands this fall.
Plus, health leaders speaking up about treatment centers for COVID. The governor's answer.
Closed captioning sponsored by Bojangles. It's Bo time. You're watching Fox Carolina, the 4 o'clock news.
A live look at the Flight 93 Memorial in Pennsylvania, where 40 passengers and crew fought those hijackers on the flight that was headed to D.C. And they brought that plane down before anyone else could be killed, sacrificing their own lives to save others. We'll remember them this weekend as the 20th anniversary of the attack is on Saturday. We'll have more on that coming out throughout this newscast and at 5 and at 6. But right now, Greenville County EMS says the rise in hospitalizations is stretching first responders thin. And now they're asking for your help to alleviate some of those issues. County leaders urging people to only call 911 in case of a real emergency. We're told rooms are filling up at hospitals with wait times up to 2 hours, much longer really locally. And if you're experiencing mild symptoms and want to get tested, you should contact your primary doctor first. Greenville County assures us they are still responding to every call. But again, we do know there are lag times and delays in those ambulance responses. So just a heads up. And hospitals all over the country are feeling the strain as more COVID patients are coming in. And now they're having to make some tough choices about who gets medical care. Here's Britt Conway.
It's happening around the country. Hospitals are overwhelmed.
This is what people refer to as rationing of health care.
And I never as a physician thought we'd be transferring our patients out of state, that we wouldn't be able to take care of our own Nebraskans.
For critical care and ICUs, those beds are saturated.
We're running about 130% above capacity.
Nationwide, more than 101,000 people are in the hospital with COVID-19. With so many hospitals packed, some people who need care for any reason might not get it.
If you come in and have a heart attack and you need an ICU bed, we probably won't have a bed for you.
In the most extreme situations, crisis standards of care would be activated, which is just like it sounds, a substantial change to the level of care because of a crisis, like a pandemic.
It's like we're at a war with this virus.
It's already happened in Idaho, and officials at one Washington hospital worry it could happen there too.
They may decide that we don't have the resources to care for you and your chance of survival is low, so we're not going to ask you if you want to be resuscitated or not. We're just not going to be able to do it.
Which is why you keep hearing the same plea, no matter the place.
Help our hospital systems, help our nurses, help our staff, so that we don't have to call 23 hospitals when it's your loved one that's in the ER that we're trying to find a bed for.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Now, upstate leaders are pushing for the state to open monoclonal treatment centers for COVID. The Greenville County GOP sent a letter to the governor asking him to open free treatment centers like they've done in Florida. The letter states in part, our state has already suffered so much loss. Even our very own Greenville County Republican Party State Executive Committeeman Presley Stuff succumbed to COVID. Similar monoclonal antibody centers were here in South Carolina may have saved Presley's life and countless others. The governor tells us he is working with DHEC to determine the precise need for these kind of treatments in the state. Right now, DHEC offers a map of all locations in the state offering the treatments. Anyone diagnosed with COVID needs to get this kind of treatment early within the first 10 days of an infection.
Well, Fox Carolina is your school station, and for the second week in a row, parents protested a vaccine incentive. Anderson District 5 offers an incentive of $100 to any student who chooses to get vaccinated, and parents in the district are not happy about this. They held a rally outside the school district this morning. Parents have called the incentive a bribe, while the district says it's simply to help more people get the vaccination in order to keep schools open.
It's the parents' choice, it's the family's choice, it's not the school board's choice. And the incentive to bribe the kids with $100 when that money could be used for so many, better things, it's just wrong.
We're not making anybody do anything other than give them the opportunity. And if a parent makes that decision, then they're making it for their child. I'm not making it.
The superintendent says he has no intention of getting rid of the incentive despite the protest.